It's been 124 days of me rebounding. And throughout this journey, I have felt stronger. I really, really have. But my latest body scan shocked me because I just discovered that I've been losing muscle and holding on to fat. So if you're over 40 and you feel like you're doing everything right, but things are not changing, this is the message you need to hear. So here's my concern. I'm losing muscle, something I desperately need because your muscle is what makes you strong. Your muscle is what lets you move with flow in ease, especially as we're aging women. And your muscle is what helps your metabolism so that you can burn the fat. So the reason I'm not burning fat is because I'm losing muscle. I was so sure that I was making progress. I was so excited to get my body scan update today, and I was really expecting to see some amazing results. However, the data revealed something important. Here's the bottom line of what the scan revealed and what I'm changing to finally unlock the fat loss. I really believe that and rebuild strength as somebody who is 40 plus. So a regular scale is only going to tell you what you weigh. The scanner gives me all this other information so that I can know is how much of my weight is made up of muscle or versus fat versus if I'm holding on to water weight, how my metabolism is doing, because all these things, every single one of them is a factor in that overall number of weight. So that's why I'm using it. So I can see how my workouts are actually benefiting me in addition to just how they make me feel. Here's what I've done right. First and foremost, let's congratulate me. Seriously, I deserve a few props here that I have bounced almost every single day for 124 days. That is amazing consistency. And if you have a goal that you are striving to go after, it takes action. You can think all the most amazing thoughts. You can have vivid dreams. You can be wildly attached to it in your imagination. But until you get into action, very few things are going to change or change in the direction that you want them to. And that's where building up consistent habits really is going to get you there. And so I have stayed consistent and I have built in these daily habits. I know how I feel when I'm bouncing, and I know on a daily basis where I want to put my bouncing into my day. Sometimes it's early, sometimes it's midday, sometimes it's even later, like it was yesterday. I just plan it out on how I'm feeling, but I know I'm going to do it. Additionally, what I've done right is I've been able to increase how long I'm bouncing. So I've gone from about 10 to 12-minute sessions. Well, really from the beginning, just struggling to even get to 3 and 5 minutes to get it to 10, and then holding steady about the 10 to 12 mark. And then on August 22nd, which is just been about almost 2 weeks, I have upgraded to 20 minutes a day. So the next 90 days, I'm putting in at least 20 minutes a day of rebounding. I also have increased the intensity, how much I'm bouncing. Yes, the time, but actually the intensity of how much I'm pushing in and the activity that I'm doing on the rebounder. So all of this to say, my cardiovascular system, my endurance, and my lymphatic function are all improving. I'm literally conditioning my body better now. I'm treating it better. It's fueling itself better. It feels better. And I know I'm moving better overall, like going up and down the stairs every day. If I've had my bounce session in, I'm feeling it, like how much more flexible I am, how much more capable I am to do these kind of daily activities. So all of this feels really good. I have also done a lot of cleanup on how I think about myself, how I think about my body, and what I feel capable of achieving, including feeling capable of changing my body shape, releasing the stubborn fat, finally losing the weight that I have wanted gone for so long, feeling that that's within reach, within my range of capability. For a long time, I believed my body was broken, but that's a whole nother topic. Here's the other insight that's come out of these scans, the important discovery that is going to change things for me. Over the summer, I was taking my kids to summer camp 5 days a week at the local gym. And since I was already going to be showing up at the local gym, it became really easy just for me to show up early for pickup and go ahead and go inside early, get my weight training done. So I was consistently showing up every single week, doing 4 sessions a week of weight training. And I was alternating upper body, lower body. That being said, that was during the time that I hit the highest peak of my muscle mass. And that means my muscle went up. I have a video where I talk about I gained 2 pounds of muscle in a certain amount of time. I can't remember the amount of time, but a large part of that was because in addition to rebounding, I was doing the weight training and I changed my nutrition habits. That was my best scan as my metabolism was at its highest. And the reason your metabolism will raise is because your muscle goes up. You need more muscle. You need to be building muscle for your metabolism to change. So that's when my body was the strongest and it's at its peak for burning fat. As soon as summer camp was over, I did it, like falling into a different rhythm and falling into school routines, all these different things. I've cut back my gym workouts over this last month to 2 times a week. I'm just going in now and just twice a week. Well, as a result, my skeletal muscle mass has dropped. And it didn't just drop as in I lost those 2 pounds I'd gained. No, it dropped significantly. I've lost 5 pounds attributed to muscle. That explains why I'm also experiencing stubborn, steady, not releasing fat. And so my fat percentage has gone up a little bit because I'm not burning fat, I'm losing muscle. So see, if I was only looking at this on the scale, I'd be like, okay, great. My number has still gone down because the number on the scale, so to speak, the weight is going down, but the weight that I'm losing is not fat, which is what I want to lose. I've lost muscle. I've lost 5 pounds of muscle. So here is why this is so important. Your skeletal muscle mass is the amount of muscle on your body that is responsible for movement. It is the muscle that attaches to your bones between your arms and your legs and all the parts of your body. Skeletal muscle mass is the best indicator for strength, for metabolism, and how much fuel your body burns in its resting state. Therefore, the more skeletal muscle mass you have, the higher your metabolism and the easier job you're going to have at releasing fat. So when my skeletal muscle mass dropped 5 pounds, my metabolism slowed. My scans slowed down as far as the percent of fat being burnt every week, even though my actual body weight wasn't moving that much. It was going down a couple of pounds. And then this week it was like 1.5 pounds. But this is not what I was expecting, especially not because I have been feeling better. I feel stronger in my daily overall movements, but that is because rebounding is making me feel better. It's draining the junk from my lymph nodes. It's making my energy improve. It's making me overall better conditioning, better overall feeling. Does that make sense? But my muscle mass has dropped and fat has crept in. My metabolism has started slowing down. In reflection, I have been feeling achiness. And I talked about this in another video that when I sit for long periods of time, I get up and it's like I'm slow going. I'm like turtle speed because my hips are achy and I'm just moving slower. And it's kind of frustrating because once I'm rebounding, once I'm in movement, I'm feeling so good. I can do so much and I don't have those aches and pains. But when I sit, then my body retires. My body just eases back in. And then I'm really achy when I get up. And a large part of that is right in my hip zone. Well, that's around the visceral fat area in my waist that is the heaviest. And that's also because my muscle mass has gone down. I'm just feeling that. Another concern is that my basal metabolic rate has dropped. This means my body is adapting to lower energy needs. It's slowing the metabolism because the energy is going down. That was surprising to me because I do feel like overall my energy has gone up as my amount of rebounding has gone up. I've gone from 10 to 12 minutes to 20 minutes. And I'm also walking more. Like I'm feeling my body well. I do. I also feel like my sleep has gotten better. I would say that too. So I feel like overall my energy, my clarity throughout the day, my mind clarity for how I can think have all been stronger, but the basal metabolic rate, that level of energy, my metabolism has slowed. So I guess that's a little bit different. If your basal metabolic rate, your BMR, reduces or drops, your body uses less energy and thus it stores more fat and it gets harder to burn that fat. See how this all works together? This is why I'm taking the time to explain this, because one, this is so eye-opening to me because I didn't understand this before. And so I would put in the effort for a month, maybe 2 months. I wouldn't see the changes I was looking for. I would get really frustrated. I'd say my body was broken. It just wouldn't lose the weight. I'm just stuck like this. And I would feel resigned to being fat. I'd feel resigned, like in a horrible way, defeated way, to not be able to lose the weight. Sharing all of this in my own journey is to educate you, to inspire you to become a scientist, to get the data and to study your body and to work with your body instead of putting it down. Because even at 2 months, I learned some things that in 2 more months, now hitting the 4 month mark, I'm learning even more. Because this has been years, this has been well over a decade of me struggling with my weight and seeing my weight keep going up. Well, now I understand my weight was going up for various reasons that weren't just what was calorie intake. You see that? So as I'm aging, you naturally lose muscle, but I'm losing muscle as well from not working out the way that I was. And now my body is getting back into a lower state. It's not burning as much calories. It's reduced its metabolism. And I don't need that to drop any more than it already is, because it was already in a slow state. And so I need to revitalize that. I know I need to make these changes now. So the goal is to build up more muscle and increase my basal metabolic rate so I can burn more calories in a day and start beating up on this stubborn fat. So in summary, I have done a lot of really good things. I have felt the progress because rebounding has helped improve my overall condition. But the scans show the missing piece, the muscle loss, and this is key. So I'm going to maintain my daily bouncing sessions. They are wonderful. They make me feel good. It's strong conditioning. I'm down for all of it. But the resistance training I get from rebounding, I do need to have more. I need more resistance training. And that's what I get actually lifting heavy weights in the gym. I don't have anything I can lift around the house. I mean, I guess I could lift my dog up and down, but I don't think he'd like that very much. So it's like, anyhow, I need to get back into the gym with structured weight training and locking in my protein. That's the other thing I need to do, is make sure I'm eating enough protein in the day and balancing that with low carbs and low fat. Then I believe that I can start to anticipate that I'm going to flip this trend, that the fat will start releasing, the muscle will go up, and my metabolism will also rise. I really hope that was helpful for you, friend. I can understand how frustrating and challenging it can be to get stuck and not see any progress. So I get it. So I'm going to continue to learn, evaluate, and improve. It's just an ongoing cycle of discovering what your body needs and showing up to provide it. A big part of that can only be done with consistency. Go be a scientist and get the data so that you can hit your goals. All the best to you, friend. Happy bouncing.